This week's matchup featuring two teams who both came away with wins a week ago and know it should be a good battle today. It's the Mounties going up against the Chargers. With that, let's get you out to San Diego. Here are Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
America's finest city on about as fine a Sunday afternoon as you're ever gonna see. Today, it's a matchup in the AFC West between the Toronto Mounties and the San Diego Chargers. Hi, everybody. Brandon Guyton alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Charger club entering play here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors from north of the border, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And if you look back to last week, it was all about their defense. Anytime you hold an NFL team to single digits, that's saying something.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. Decent chunk of yardage still left here, 2nd and 7. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. Third play here this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Finding time. Looking deep downfield. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It'll go as a gain of 10 there. And that enables him to also pick up the 1st. So it'll be 1st down here after the run.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty. Can make moves, make people... but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up the play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Fresh set of downs here.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that the defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? Well, where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, that's 2 guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
So the offense has it, 6-yard line, 1st and goal. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Time running out here on the play clock. He'll look to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver. His first touchdown on the year. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out comes the San Diego offense as they get set to see what they can do here. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Hunter Henry brings it in. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Nowadays, this has become routine, hasn't it? That was a heck of a route there by the tight end. A great double move for a big-time catch downfield.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Well, they went for all the marbles there on that long pass. He caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds.
So difficult, isn't it? Because you have so many things you're going through on that play, trying to get open, trying to catch the ball, and still get your feet down to complete the process of the play. Not successful on that attempt.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Back to throw here. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Pass interference. Defense.
Pass interference call. Charles, you were a defender. You know how hard it is to defend the pass without committing this penalty.
And if they would let them play with a little bit more contact and give the defender a better chance, we wouldn't have nearly as many flags.
And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back. And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down, if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
And he is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Their big-bodied receiver, his first touchdown on the year. And the Chargers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And he takes it back to the house. It's a fumble recovery and a Charger touchdown. So problems here on special teams, and it results in the scoop and the score.
They talk all the time on special teams about keeping your head on a swivel, trying to see the whole field. Hard to do when things are going that fast, bodies all over the place. You're just trying to find the right guy to align yourself with. On that play, wow.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And to give this time to the tailback. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down.
That was a terrific job by the defense stopping them on 3rd and short. But sometimes you get some visual cues from the offense because when they're going in short yard situations, you might see the offensive line come in tighter together, a little more shoulder to shoulder, trying to wedge a hole in the middle. They didn't get it done on that play.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and it'll be a turnover on downs. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
Back now to begin the 2nd quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now back to throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Henry's got it out on the left side. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. They'll look to throw now on first down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. And now San Diego getting set to go. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that. Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Looking to throw. And right side, Henry's got it. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down. The Chargers will bring out the field goal unit now.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And his kick is indeed good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So he splits the uprights there, and I would imagine it's nice as a kicker. Right when it leaves your foot, you know it's good.
Yeah, it's kind of like a golfer that picks up his tee after a nice drive without even watching it land.
Solid analogy. I like it. Now this offense ready to take over again. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. A lot of teams love to throw screen passes. They want to tire out defenses because they make them run a lot. But there are a lot of moving parts on a play for an offense when they call that one. Because you got the linemen that have to move. You have the wide receivers have to get out and vacate. You got the running back that's got to make a little fake and then get out into the route. And of course, the quarterback, he's got to hold in there and know he's probably going to take a big hit before he lofts the screen off to the back. Why didn't he catch it? That's all he needed to do for them to be successful.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. So the offense has it 1st and 10.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And quick throw here. That's complete. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
That throw has to be a quarterback's dream, doesn't it? Big tight end, curling in the middle of the field, so it's great sight lines for him. And when they show their numbers back to the quarterback, when they sit down right there, that should be pitch and catch.
Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They're going to try and throw. And this is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. And now San Diego getting set to go. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
that.
Super toe.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
On offense, the guy that you want to have the best eyes on the field are your quarterback, so you can see everything pre-snap, and then, of course, as the play develops. On defense, oftentimes it's the linebacker. And on this play, his eyes took him right to the ball, and he made a nice tackle.
He's got time, and he'll be out of bounds all the way down at the 5-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
And that's how you pick up a 1st down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. Now from back at the 5. This is 3rd and goal.
Let's go.
He'll look to throw. He's got under pressure. Down he goes. Sacked at the 10. So a big sack for a loss of 4. It brings up 4th and goal. 2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. We'll come back to San Diego after this timeout. And his kick is good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So 3 points is the outcome, but probably not what they're looking for given the drive that they were on.
Yeah, things were looking good. You had it 1st and goal, but then the offense sputters a bit, and they're forced to settle for a field goal.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now we get a look at the captain of this offense heading back out there now. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now. Back to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. And they're going to speed things up here. They'll look to throw here on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. He took a hit on that last play. Now let's see how he and the offense respond on second. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. Now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
I see an extra DB on the field now for San Diego.
Yeah, indeed. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his second of the game. Instead, 4th down. They bring their punter out there now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
So much of this game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. You know, normally he's probably happy with how he's playing. He's playing pretty well, but in the second quarter, you look up your team's losing. I don't think any quarterback's satisfied.
Not at all, and what they're really seeking is how do I play even better and inspire my teammates to do exactly the same in order for us to get back on.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. They'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
They'll look to throw now on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left side and almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And apparently that's all, Larry. So much for the halftime report. We'll see you in the postgame. We're ready to get to the 3rd quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. So here they come, the road team now getting the football first to start this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They lost 4 there, and it's third down.
Partner, I think the easy thing now would be to just abandon the run and start throwing the football at all costs. But I've been in so many games where it doesn't work running the ball, and then something pops, and now you get something going. I'm not so sure to just abandon your game plan this early in the second half. Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup. And just like that, it's third down. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you stop the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And not much running room. Down to the 32. 3 yards on the pickup there, but they've only got it back to 3rd and 10.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. It'll be a sack and a loss of 3, but more importantly, it brings up 4th down. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It will be a 51-yard attempt. And this one is right down the middle. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So 3 field goals for him here, and this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
And he's been solid as usual. And this is what you need to do. Make sure you get points out of every possession. And so far, they've done a nice job of that.
The Chargers defense now getting set and taking the field. They're just looking to duplicate what they did last time. Force the 3 and out, and that led to a field goal.
The only thing better, really, is creating a turnover. 3 and out, get off the field, feel good about yourself, turn the ball over to your offense, and they put the ball through the post for a field goal.
They're probably pretty well rested after that 3 and out, too.
One would think. That's how you get it done. Create the 3 and outs, get to the bench, get your rest, and hope your offense can control the game.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Eluding the pressure right. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out in the sky.
And they'll send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. And now San Diego getting set to go. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost starting to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. When tapping those toes, he tried to get both in bounds. He could not do it, though.
In tap dance parlance, could not complete the shuffle. All right, needed to get that shuffle down with both feet, not just one.
Is that what they say?
There it is. You know, put a little sand down on the stage.
I'll take your word for it, my man.
If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And he's got this one just across midfield to the 49. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4.
All right, here we go.
Looking to throw. And right side, Henry's got it. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. So this is the second consecutive week, as you look at the numbers, that he just doesn't seem to have the same pop as we normally see him with.
Is there an injury we don't know about?
That's what I'm wondering.
Because that's a legitimate question right now. We're used to speed, power, all coming together. And what I've always loved about him is his vision. You know, last week he didn't have that as well. Always thought he was picking the wrong hole to try and run through. And his blockers, they seem to be getting him to the right place, but he picked the wrong spot. We're seeing some of that again this week. Can they snap it together? Can they get back in sync? Because normally we see them go together very, very well.
They come out here in the eye. And again this time to the tailback. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And on 2nd and 10 now.
Well, he was stopped on that play. We've had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
And they will not get a chance to return this. One as as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. To throw on second down is Newton. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on fourth down. They come out here in the I, and they'll run it here. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It'll be a gain of 6, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches.
Wow, that one took some guts. If this doesn't work, you're handing them incredible field position, but this head coach is undaunted, and he makes the call to go for it, and I'll be darned if they don't get the first down.
Now a play fake here, and that's caught inside the 30. A gain of 32 that time. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Fine.
Back now here on EA Sports as we're about ready to rock and roll for the 4th and final quarter. On second down, here's Newton. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete.
But it's not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there and tried to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete, but you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his second of the game. Instead, 4th down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. The 4th down pass play doesn't work out. And the Charger defense stands tall and they get the football back. And now San Diego getting set to go. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Here we go now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. A gain of 3, 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A big 30-yard play on 3rd. defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with a lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that plus 3.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Hot. Blue 90.
They're going to look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead now up to 22. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense, and he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. And now San Diego getting set to go. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. The ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man. Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. Let's see what they go to here on 3rd down and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get nothing out of that one. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Yeah, let me pump out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. But that was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
The Chargers defense gearing up to take the field. And the interception the last time, their 3rd takeaway of the game, Charles.
They're just flocking to the football so well. And not only are they doing that, they're making big-time plays and taking it away from them. Big hits, big plays. They're looking very good in this ball game.
You said flocking, flying to the football. Coaches always use that, don't they?
They really do. It's almost it goes back to the old, when they click off the frame at the end of a play, they want to see all 11 defensive guys in that picture.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball, and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
Well, fourth down pass play doesn't work out. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. And now San Diego getting set to go. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3 except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Officially, no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Wasn't able to get anything, no gain. Fumbled once already. Maybe he's being a little careful. Not necessarily on that play, but I'm sure that's in his mind somewhere.
Oh, without a doubt, because protecting the football is job one for anyone who's carrying it. And that's exactly what he tried to do on that play, but it didn't gain him any yardage.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gain, they can run that play on any down.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. And, Charles, you know what...